So often I get asked, when is the right time to water? And the secret is to use your phalanges. Just like my father taught me. All you do is just come down and you just touch the soil. Just starting to pop. And if the soil feels moist, then you probably want to wait a day or so. The reason why is because water is something that's very interesting. Water will expand and contract based upon it being cold or it warming up. So when you think about it, when you give your soil a little bit of time to dry out, what it's going to do, it's either going to be expanding or contracting. And then when you water the soil, it's once again going to expand and contract. Besides giving moisture and other factors, what we're really just talking about doing is aerating your soil and how it does that. If you never allow the water to really dry out a little bit or dry back in some level, then there's no new air pockets to be filled when you add water back in with fresh water. And so in a sense, if you have poor drainage or water ends up just stagnating there and you don't have live microbiology or something along those lines, that's when disease begins to set in. So it is absolutely important to give a little bit of time in between every single watering, because the drying back process and the rewatering is like yin and yang. They go hand in hand. And you want to make sure you're not overwatering, because the water just might stay there, and if it stays there too long, it becomes stagnated, and that's when day in and day out disease will begin to set in. By allowing a little bit of the soil to dry back, you are helping to solve that problem, especially if you're just beginning to establish your microbiology colony in your soil. Remember to use your phalanges when checking your soil, and if it is dry on the top, I'd recommend watering. And remember, there's different degrees of wet, so there's kind of like a light damp, and if it's a light damp, I'd probably water. But if it is wet, which is right here, I definitely say the soil right here is wet, I would give it another day so it gets damp, and then I would rewater. Depending upon that dampness even, I might wait the following day just in case. Because at the end of the day, when roots are getting established and the plants are growing, sometimes I do want the roots to search for the water and force the roots to start to penetrate down. Is that saying true? I'm not sure. That is something that my father has always told me about, and I have continued with that same mindset because it makes sense to me, and it's not something I really need to fight, because it makes sense. You know, if something's hungry and it wants it to survive, it's going to go out and search for it. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great grow.